And you know what I found out about you Edomites? You think it's a damn joke.
Yeah.
You ain't out here listening to this word. The president and these different congressmen, they ain't trying to get in contact with us because they think we're crazy, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
For I have sworn by myself.
And they know that we out here, man. The elite knows that we out here. Go ahead.
For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Bozrah shall become a desolation.
If anything, they're going to come out here to put us in a damn concentration camp or kill us. But that's not going to work, man. That's not going to work. See, but they're going to succeed to a certain level and start putting Jake in concentration camps. But that's when the Most High is going to speed everything up even faster. See, when all that stuff, when martial law truly takes place, everything's going to be sped up. All right? Give me that. What you got?
I got Isaiah 59.
Good.
Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood.
And the enemy is the so-called white man. But hold up, except for Cornelius.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's not the enemy. You know, the Most High made a mistake. You know, you got all these Edomites, but you got this one lone Edomite that said, no, I'm going to be righteous. I'm getting with them Israelites. He's a blessed Edomite. You man, go ahead, man, read it.
It says, so shall they
That's
fear.
why nobody be watching your videos, man. Yeah. We put on a video on a Sunday, on a Monday, 500 hits. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
Right. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Most High is going. That's when the Most High is going to deliver us. All right. Go ahead.
Psalms 124:1. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, now may Israel say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side when men rose up against us.
In this case, it's talking about the white man. Go ahead.
Then they had swallowed us up quick, when their wrath was kindled against us. Then the waters had overwhelmed us. The stream had gone over our soul.
The stream is talking about the white man, how they're going to overwhelm us, all right? Since you're reading about that, brother, give me the book of Revelation 12, and then give me Job 30 to start from the 5th verse. Because there's many references where it refers to how the white man is going to plan on coming against us like a wave, like a flood. And that's talking about the martial law, the police state. Because they're going to come in like like a flood, like stormtroopers, all right? Go ahead.
Then the waters had overwhelmed us. The stream had gone over our soul. The proud waters had gone over our soul.
The proud waters. How can waters be proud? It's talking about the white man. It says in Obadiah, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock. And it said the proud of what? The proud of what?
The proud waters.
The proud waters is talking. The waters is talking about the so-called white man. But because the Most High is not dealing with you, you can't break these scriptures down. So you make it up. Well, except for Cornelius.
Except for
him. Go ahead.
Blessed be the Lord, who had not given us as a prey to their teeth.
Right, because when they established that New World Order, the Most High is going. That's when the Most High is going to come in and stop that nonsense, man. Go ahead.
Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken and we are escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth.
Yeah, so we trust in the Most High. All right, what you got?
Revelation 12:15.
Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 12 verse 15.
Job 30. Go ahead.
And a serpent cast out of his mouth water as
You know what, man? Start from the first verse, man. I want to get that whole breakdown.
Revelation.
I like to go to the first verse every once in a while. Go ahead.
Revelation.
The key point of that flood is in the 15th verse of Revelation, the 12th chapter.
Right.
All right. But let's go to the first verse.
Revelation chapter 12 verse 1.
Now, what's this guy, Farrakhan? Many years ago, he had a speech in Chicago back in the mid-90s, and he called himself trying to break down Revelation, the 12th chapter, and he broke it down totally wrong. Well, we at Great Millstone is going to break it down right for you so you can get it. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 12 verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun.
Now that woman represents the nation of Israel, because there's many scriptures that reference to Israel, the nation of Israel, as being a woman, all right, or being the bride of the Lord. When you go to Revelation 21, it says that the bride, the groom, it speaks about the bride and the groom. The groom is the Lord, and the bride is the nation of Israel, all right? Go ahead.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Now the sun represents knowledge. I'm sorry, the moon represents wisdom, the sun represents knowledge, right? To be in love. When you say somebody's bright, all right, like they'll have cartoons and somebody in a cartoon character come up with a bright idea and the light bulb goes off, that means that the person's bright because he was blessed with the sun. That's why the pharaohs called themselves the sun. The word pharaoh means para. The word para means the sun, because the pharaoh is saying, I'm from the sun, so you got to follow me. I have all knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right, go ahead.
Right.
And like I said, the moon. Did I say the moon represents understanding? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And she being with child cried.
I'm sorry. The 12 stars mean the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. That's why it was 12 stars and not 13 stars or 11 stars or 5 stars. It was 12 stars. Go ahead.
And she being with child
It's
cried.
not talking about an actual woman. But you guys are trying to break the scriptures down yourself. You'll read it and so you know there's an actual woman that had the sun was over it. Because you don't have to understand it, man. That's why the Most High set up teachers. Go ahead, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 54 verse 6. For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit.
That's talking about the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
And a wife of youth when thou was refused, saith the Most High. That was it.
Okay, go back to Revelation.
Revelation chapter 12 verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon.
And we always seem to get that dragon, and that's talking about, first and foremost, in this case, it's talking about the Roman Empire. Because this thing that this brother's reading happened 2,000 years ago. All right, and that great red dragon is the Roman Empire, which now is a reincarnation of the Roman Empire, is NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Go ahead.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
Go ahead.
And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven.
Now it said in his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven. Part of the power of a dragon is its tail. And when it said and its tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, you had 3 parts in the nation that was living in Jerusalem and the so-called land of Israel. The tribe of Judah, the tribe of Benjamin, and the tribe of Levi. Because what happened to the other tribes? The other tribes went to the so-called New World, the so-called Americas. That's why it said that the dragon uses its tail to bring down the stars at 3 parts of the stars of heaven. And the stars of heaven represent the nation of Israel. Another word for stars is celebrities, all right? Because when we get in our the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be like red carpet week at the Oscars, man.
Shall shine like the stars.
We shall shine like the stars of heaven. Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 11 verse 11. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he.
Right, that's that. Go ahead.
And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force.
And that's so the kingdom of heaven is talking about the nation of Israel. And the violent is talking about the Romans. Go ahead.
All right, verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And a dragon stood before the woman